You ready?
Run it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Squad. I mean, it's been turning up with the girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't come close to her. If you with your gang, let me hear you say what?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is season 2, episode 5 of the Read, Talk, and Listen podcast, otherwise known as the RTL. I am your host, Nick Reed, along with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, pretty good, man. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And as always, or I shouldn't say always, but as we normally do, we have a guest tonight. And like I always do, I'm going to let you bring him in.
Alrighty, man. So tonight's guest is a near and dear friend to me. Me and this cat go way back to the second grade when he got introduced to the class as a new transfer student. And I remember looking over at him because we were the only two brothers in the class, and I looked over and I made sure that ain't nobody else looking. I gave him the whole thumbs up and the head nod, like we in this thing together, man. But tonight's guest is my friend, our friend, Jarrett Rone, rapper, producer. Let's bring him in.
Singer, songwriter, employee. He is employed with a career. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay.
Hey, man,
First
how you
and
doing?
foremost.
I got you, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing? It's
Man,
good to see y'all.
I know, man. It's been
Good to
a
see you,
long
man. Good to
time
see you.
coming.
I'm trying to get back like where it don't show my this, but still show this. It's hard out here, bro. Hey, it's really hard. Like this camera shit is tricky.
Hey, man,
Look, I
just
got a
you,
Forrest
see,
Whitaker
you
eye.
just a work in progress, man. Just work in progress.
Yes. So how
Exactly,
y'all
exactly.
doing? What y'all got
Been
going
good,
on?
man. Hey, but
Can y'all
J
hear
Rock.
me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear.
Okay, there we go.
But J Rock, man, what have you been doing lately, man? You know, I follow your music on Facebook and on Instagram. I try to keep up with everything that's going on, man. But let the people know, let the RTL listeners know what you've been doing.
Well, I've been doing a lot of songwriting. I actually signed a little record deal with like a very small record label out of Little Rock just for like some financial backing purposes for promotion, marketing, things of that nature. It's just a 1 year contract. It's a very cut dry, you know what I'm saying, thing, but it's definitely an opportunity that I'm glad that I came across because it's again, this music shit is expensive and you know what I'm saying, still having bills and livelihood and all of that, and then maintaining a music career in itself is a lot. So it's good to have that behind me. Just working on an album. I know I set out to actually do an EP last year when I started this, but that turned into me more so wanting to do a whole album. So I'm just figuring out, you know what I'm saying, a sound, a particular sound that works for me, which I think that I have officially like really have grasped onto, and I'm really excited to release some new shit that I'm fixing to be coming out because I'm pressure on these hoes. Period. But anyhow,
And before, hey, I feel you on that. I feel you on that, and I want to get to that. I want to get to what's coming out. You know
mhm.
what I mean? We're gonna get there tonight. But right now, you just said something that really interested me because when you first got on, you talked about already having a career. You're already established in your career. You already have a career, and
Mhm.
then you just said, this rap stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question: why start rapping? Why not just go with your career? What drives you to start a new career in the rap game?
Well, if I'm being honest with you, like at this day and age, obviously, like in a couple of days, I'll be 32 years old. And at a younger age, if we're being honest again, I feel like the times were completely different than they are now. So there was like not a space necessarily for the kind of music that I want to put out or I would have wanted to put out back then. So that's one reason. Another reason is um, at this point, it's not even about trying to blow up or anything like that. It's literally therapeutic for me at this point. Like
Yeah.
doing music has really, I really can't explain it because here, like the older I get, the more I'm starting to deal with like some not psychological issues, but I've gotten very anxious. Like I deal with anxiety a lot. Y'all know me to be a very sociable person, but turns out in the older age, I'm not. I'm really not a social butterfly at all. I've become quite a hobbit. So music for me has really like been a way to to just kind of heal a little bit, like um a way to let go of some shit, a way to like talk about some things that I would normally. Oh my goodness, my camera is doing all kinds of
Technical
stupid shit.
difficulties.
Look, I'm trying to do a little ghetto bootleg, trying to hold this motherfucker up, but it ain't working like I want to. And I'm trying to squat down so y'all can see my motherfucking face. All of this shit is tacky right now. I'm live and shit. Hold on, y'all. God damn it. Listen, this shit finna piss me off. Okay, hold on. Give me 2.3 seconds, y'all. Let me get my trap together.
Hey, it took us years. It took us years to get the podcast game right,
Yeah,
so
for
we don't
real.
expect
Yeah.
y'all to get it together.
Damn, I don't want to come on y'all show being the tacky ghetto niggas. They're gonna be like, man, that nigga was tacky as fuck on the podcast. Anyway, music, like I said, like even if I never make it, I will literally do this for the rest of my life. I know
Yeah.
that. Now, will I? You know, at the age of like 40. Well, actually, shit, it took 2 Chainz almost to 40 before something really popped out for his ass. You know, he went from what Titty Boy to 2 Chainz at that. He was 2 Chainz at 36, 37. You know what I'm saying? So, I might just reinvent myself like P. Diddy did shit at 40 something. He went Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. Now he calling himself Love. So you can do what you want to. Age really don't motherfucking matter, to be honest with you. If your music is popping and you talented, age doesn't matter. But will I, at 40, will I be out here, what I'm saying, really just like pushing it like that? Like, no, because I'll be even more secure in my career by then because I ain't letting go of my career unless some shit just like, you know what I'm saying, really pop off for me like that. So I'll do this for the
Exactly.
rest of my
And
life.
anything can happen though in this, right? It only takes one song.
It
You
only
know what I
take
mean?
take one song.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a very, very versatile writer. Like I'm super duper versatile writer. So hell, I'll fuck around and blow up on a country song.
Yeah,
I'm just,
but hey, but when you get into the older age, you can always switch over to the other side and be like a producer or a manager for some of
hell
the
nah,
younger
nigga,
cats
I'm
coming
going
up.
straight Johnny Taylor blues on their motherfucking ass. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for a good time tonight. I'm being the chitlin circuit, motherfucker. You already know I'm popping. I'm going blues or I'm going gospel.
Well, hey, so you just said something right there, the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
So I remember a while back I was watching this documentary with Killer Mike, and he was talking about rappers from Atlanta that that were looking to blow up, that would get into the Chitlin circuit and hit these clubs. Are you doing anything like that now?
Now, so actually, they've shifted more outside of clubs now to like these trail rides and horse rides and stuff like that. And have I've actually the label has presented some things to me about doing a show or some shows, some blues shows actually, like performing at some blues shows. Yeah, I'm open minded to it. Like, I listen, exposure right now, you know what I'm saying, is everything. So I'ma definitely do it now. Is that like my idealistic thing at a trail ride in a field with horses, whole bunch of niggas with no security? Not probably my ideal situation, but yeah, I'm gonna start jumping out here and shit, yeehawing with their asses for sure.
Hey, so explain to our listeners what the Chitlin circuit is, because most people have no idea what that is at all.
Chitlin circuit is like it's like Southern soul blues music, and you have to be from the South. You had to be there to understand. You have blues singers like Johnny Taylor. You have your let me think of someone. Mom, I do not include him. He don't even count. That nigga, sorry. I'm talking about old school ones. That nigga right there. That's that new school blues shit that they can flush down to. I'm talking about like some. You like mom's apple pie? Doom doom doom. So sweet. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about.
I know. Yep.
I just knew you was gonna get on here and try to give us a little taste of your vocals.
To the hole in the wall. Chillin' Circuit is basically, you know what I'm saying? It's a way. It was literally it started you have to go way back in history to really be able to tell the story, but it started off for us to be able to have a way to tour and have music, and the Chitlin Circuit flows from all the southern states, so from like Texas to Louisiana to Mississippi to Georgia to South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just a Southern soul music fest. You, you had to be there. Your
No,
parents,
yeah,
I can't,
it makes sense. It
you
makes
know,
sense.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
most definitely.
you just had, and I happen to have to be there because my mama is a fucking blues head. Okay, that's all we listened to growing up. That's where a lot of my music inspiration actually comes from. And something that I actually learned about my mama today. My mama is actually a damn good songwriter. She helped me write a song today that was out this motherfucking world. She's definitely good. She's definitely gonna be in her songwriting bag, like for sure, for sure.
Hey,
That's
I gotta admit something. So back in the day when you had old Bessie, that white Sable,
Oh yeah.
that car, I remember I stole an Otis Redding CD, show mama CD out that car. And
Mama.
I think I still got that CD at my mom's house somewhere. But I used to just jam that Otis Redding.
Oh yeah, that's it. And that was
My
actually, you know what? Otis Redding is not the kind of blues music that my mama listened to, so that would probably be my daddy's. That's his more his speed. My mama liked that old grimy ass blues music. The dog chased the cat, and basically,
uh,
it's like the Cardi B of blues music. Shit, like you know what I'm saying? Like I hear you knocking, but I can't stop to let you in. Hey, cause right now I'm a
hey
little
man, you
too
gonna get us
busy.
flagged, man.
Yeah. Man,
we do
they
not
really be
own the
low key
rights to this
talking shit on
music.
them songs. I'm like, nah, y'all just be putting shit in some weird ways, but y'all be doing old ass freaks. But yeah,
I, and Johnny Taylor, Otis
Johnny
Redding,
Taylor, Wilson
all these
Phillips,
guys have a story. You know, all these guys have a
yeah,
story. You can go back now and read their story. You
oh
know,
yeah,
well,
for sure, for
up until
sure.
this point, what's your story? You know, what's your journey been like? Just trying to break into this music industry.
Child, interesting. I don't want to say too much on this podcast because I know this lot. Is this like a? Am I allowed? I'm allowed to curse and do all of that, right? And
Not too much. We do got a couple of little kids listening, so not too much cussing.
whoa, well, we definitely can't. Whoa,
No,
You,
I'm,
I
I'm
want you to
kidding.
be transparent with your story, though. You know, obviously, you know what I'm saying.
I
Like,
can't be too transparent with the
regardless
children
of
out
who's
here.
listening, right? Regardless
Yeah.
of who's listening, I want you to be transparent with the audience, right? So, what is your story? Tell us your story. You don't have to say the F word, every, you know what I'm saying?
No,
But what's your
right.
story?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
First of all, Cheerman, if you are on here, I need you to remove yourself before I start my story. Okay, go
No,
to bed.
there ain't no kids listening to
I was
this.
about to say go to bed. Take out, and your parents ain't got no damn business letting y'all up at this. What time is it? At 9 o'clock.
Hey, we have a ready for mature beside our things. So let's go.
Yeah, you
Okay,
good. You good.
Give it to me.
so
Give it to me straight.
the journey has been well, if I'm being honest with you, I guess it really hasn't been that bad for me because um I mean what I say what I mean, and I don't play no games. And like I present that right off the bat to everybody that I work with, from producers to managers to the record label. Y'all have known me for a very long time. Y'all know I'm very blunt and I'm not afraid to say whatever is on my mind. And there's nothing about this industry that's gonna like shake that about me ever. I will always say what I want. I will always speak up for myself. I'm not one of these dumb dot ass niggas that you think finna hand me a contract and I'm not gonna read shit. I read. I went to school to know how to read. As a motherfucker, I had 30 plus AR points. Okay, I read, like, and that's something that a lot of these that's something that a lot of these numbnut niggas get caught up in, like real shit, and not just contract with record labels, with anything. Anytime you do hostings or you know what I'm saying, events or anything like that, like people don't be reading contracts. You know what I'm saying, and they get fucked out of shit. Um, I've ran into obviously you're gonna run into some homophobia, you know what I'm saying, on one end, but I've only, you know, to the 80% of non-homophobia I've ran into, I've only ran into probably about 20% of that. If I like it hasn't been that bad for me because I'm just a I don't know how to put it, but you know what I'm saying? People fuck with me. Like, and that's from like shit, niggas from completely different backgrounds to shit, girls to Asians to people genuinely, you know what I'm saying, have a liking toward me, which is something that I've had to warm up to because like I said, I've become so in a shell type of thing. Like I've had to warm up to allowing people to be like, damn, people like me for some strange reason type shit. You know what I'm saying? So on that end, I've been lucky. You know, I've been fortunate with that. Um, I've worked with you know what I'm saying? I've worked with some people who surprised me, um, talent wise, from our own hometown. I've worked with some really, really, out of all the studios that I've actually recorded at, I have to admit that I feel the most comfortable recording right there in Texarkana at Sergeant B Studio. And that's because one thing about him, you can tell that he's been educated on music, like through his shit, and that's something that I actually appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can go to these expensive ass studios, and yeah, they can have the best quality microphones and all of this other shit, but you can get good sound out of any studio if you have your shit mixed and mastered by the right person. You can literally record in the closet and have good fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just about what you're willing to put into your work. You know what I'm saying? As far as them dividends go, but
Yeah.
working with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are able to like really communicate. He's been the only producer that I've been able to actually communicate with without people feeling like I don't know what I'm talking about, or for people feeling like they're so up here that they can't take something coming from me because I'm new at this, or you know what I'm saying. Um, uh, and that's just on the back end of it, to working with artists, with other artists um, who feel, now, I could be wrong, who feel like, you know what I'm saying, they should be like paid for certain things. I feel like this because, well, we can go into that. That can be another question. Anyway, working with different artists is tricky. Let's just put it like that. It can be tricky. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure you do all your paperwork on that type of shit too, because working with other artists can be tricky. Although the only other artist that I've worked with, the guy that I worked with was super smooth. Two of the females I worked with, one of them was super smooth. The other one, you know, just, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to keep it pushing. Just a wild card. She, you know what I'm saying? She did me a solid with it, but I also feel like I returned the favor, and maybe she didn't feel like I did, but I definitely did. You just didn't like what, so, I mean, that's not my problem. Anyway, bitches be tripping. The music industry is definitely fucking tricky. But like I said, it's been pretty smooth for me. It's only getting better. I'm only getting more and more streams. I'm getting more and more notices. I'm getting DMs from different artists, from all around, from shit artists that are like shit got 20 plus thousand followers on Instagram. I'm getting niggas coming at me about managing them just from like me going to these shows and like talking to different artists about just the business side of things, which is something I'm actually going to get into. I also want to start, not necessarily managing talent, but maybe discovering, you know what I'm saying, certain talent. I really feel like I have a great ear for this type of shit. Like, I got a couple artists I'm actually going to sing out their music separately and let y'all check them out. Like, there's some people out here that's really, you know what I'm saying, it's a competitive game out here. But when I go to these open mics and perform and stuff, shit, motherfucker, listen, with my purse, I be out there popping my
Well,
motherfucking shit.
so
I get
I
on stage
saw.
and everybody be looking like, what the fuck is this nigga finna do with this goddamn purse on his head? And then I start, that beat drop, and that's not none of them heads rocking. By the time I come out there and say, man, nigga, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, nigga, don't worry. Shit, I carry this purse out for me for a reason, motherfucker. Okay, this bitch ain't empty, so if y'all get a little, I be in some tricky places. Don't think I'm just carrying this bitch to be cute, nigga. Nah, there's something in here for that ass. You know what
So
I'm saying?
I've noticed that you started doing more concerts. So
Mm-hmm.
is that I know during COVID, we had talked and you were saying, you
Girl,
were worried about
man,
going out
bullshit.
there and doing concerts because with COVID and everything. So
Right.
I see that you out. Are you getting more comfortable being on stage and not too worried about being around a lot of people?
Um, I'm always worried about being around a lot of people, and I was like that way before COVID. Let me just say that. Listen, I told y'all once I moved to Dallas, I don't know if it's because I moved away from friends and stuff. Even though it's just 2 hours down the road, I'm a person. When I lived in town, I was never at home. I was always out doing something. I was always on the shuffle with somebody. So whenever I moved to Dallas, it was a big adjustment. And I really became a hermit. So being around people now, like in large capacity, makes me extremely fucking anxious. Actually, I don't like it at all, and it's not just because of COVID. It's just because, just I don't know. The world is just in a crazy fucking place right now. You know what I'm saying? And just shit just be out here happening for no fucking reason. But on the flip side of that, if I really want this to go the way that I want it to go, I have to force myself to get out here and get comfortable for it and get comfortable with it. So, like, when you see me doing these shows, that is literally me all day telling myself, Jared, you're gonna go home and you're gonna get ready and you're gonna go out to the show. You're gonna do this. Like, you're not gonna sit your ass because I'd much rather be sitting at home writing. Fuck these shit. If I could make it off of just putting my shit on, you know what I'm saying, streaming platforms and it take off that way, that would be perfect for me. Because doing shows and shit is awkward. As you've probably seen in that one video, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm singing. And I'm only trying to do what I see all these other hood niggas do because I ain't got no stage presence at this point. This is something that I'm having to work on right now. Stage presence, getting comfortable on the stage, what to do on the stage, what to do with my hands. So I'm just seeing what the other niggas doing. They up there shit, they grabbing their nuts and jumping around. So I get my duck ass up here singing a slow song. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll just grab my shit too and sing my song. But my song is a slow song and I'm grabbing my shit. And then I look at it in a video. I'm like, this shit look like I'm fucking scratching my balls. Like, it looked terrible. It was a bad look. Then I had gum in my mouth. I spit the gum out in the middle of the performance. It was just, oh my God, a fucking disaster. But
Exactly, but those are things that make you right. Like those are things that are gonna make you learn from that.
oh
Like
yeah,
next
for sure,
time
for
you won't
sure.
have gum. Next time you won't be grabbing your junk. You know what I
I
mean? Like
came back the next week and killed that shit. They was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Which I killed it that week too, though, because even in the midst of that, I got off stage and shit. The shit was still popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really be shocked by some of the reactions that I get by the crowd because, like I said, I be in places where shit, you know, I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be regardless, and I can't hide who I am. But when you go to these places, it's like shit, you know, a little hood in here. You know, sometimes I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna boo my ass off the stage or how it's gonna go. But shit, it be going my way every single time, and shit, you know. Listen, I think there's a lot of shit in the go on. I'm gonna just, there's a lot of shit that probably go on in the music industry and with these rap niggas that got.
yeah. Well, with
What
your
Medea say?
career,
Got them tambourine players.
with, with your career, man, hey, you already know you have a full support from the RTL, man.
Oh yeah,
When you
for
first
sure.
started dropping music, you know, you sent it to Trey, he sent something to me, you sent something to me, and hey, we liked it. You put it out, you got good response back.
Yeah,
And it seems like from that point on, you know, then the COVID came, but then you kept hitting the shows. You know, you
oh
kept
yeah,
getting it, you kept
yeah, yeah,
grinding. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And now you got a deal signed. It's a
yeah,
1 year deal, but it's a deal. There's a lot of
yeah.
guys out here right now wishing they had that. You know what I mean? So you got a 1 year
It's
deal signed right now. You still moving up, and like I said, you got full support from the RTL in your career, man. And we wish you the best in that.
well. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for y'all to
For
hear
sure.
my new shit that's gonna come out, and I can't wait for. I think that y'all are gonna. I'm gonna put their ass. I'm going motherfucking Drake on them motherfucking asses. I'm finna make y'all miss some shit y'all ain't never had before. Type shit. I'm gonna rap
and
and
we
sing on these niggas. I'm telling y'all, I'm really excited for y'all to hear what I'm finna do. But yeah.
and we're glad for that. But this is, and I don't want to rush off you talking about your career because
No, we
obviously
good.
that's great and that's everything.
We got
But
other shit to talk about.
exactly, Trey has been telling me.
Yeah.
Trey told me that a couple of conversations have taken place between you guys, and it fits right along with a lot of things that are going on in your industry right now. You know what I mean? Or the industry that
Uh-huh.
you're trying to crack the head on right now.
Let's
So.
hold on. Let's motherfucking talk about it. Let me get my headphones on and talk about it, you guys. I'm glad you brought it up, Nicholas.
Most definitely,
Look,
most definitely.
now I'm gonna
So,
put my news reporter voice on for that motherfucking y'all at first got my rap nigga. Now I'm gonna give y'all my motherfucking news voice, nigga. Let's talk about it.
okay, so you guys have been talking about the victimhood and cancel culture. So first of all,
Yes.
before we even get fully into that, before we get fully into it, Trey, I want you to kind of run down through a little bit about victimhood, and then we're gonna run through a little bit about what cancel culture is before we even get into it. So there's a baseline.
All right. So basically, victimhood, and this is just my definition of it. Um, it's a group of people that are always out to be the victim in something. They see a situation and they victimize themselves in it, which is victimhood. and it's been played along with cancel culture because it feels like when certain people get their feelings hurt,
Mm.
they instead of just saying, "Hey, it is what it is," I'm gonna speak my piece about it and then walk off. They want to burn everything down because my feelings was hurt.
Okay. So that's victimhood right there. So we got some baseline on victimhood. Now I want you to give us a little baseline on what cancel culture is.
All right, so over the last, I say about last maybe 5 to 6 years, we've been witnessing, mainly celebrities, or just kind of people in the public getting in certain situations, and they're losing their jobs. They are being harassed by people. They're being canceled. Basically, anything that they have is being taken away from them. You know what I'm saying? So cancel, game over, you're done, your career's gone. Any way to make money, it's gone. You basically being wiped off social media platforms and basically being removed from society. So that's kind of the baseline of what cancel culture is. And that's what we've been witnessing, the last, say 5, 6 years. But, here recently, just like kind of during the COVID period, is when it's kind of got amped up.
Okay. So there it is. We have an established baseline right now for the victimhood, and we have one for cancel culture. So Jared, I want to come to you right now. Uh, well, actually, no, Troy, we're gonna stay with you first. I want to hear your side first. I'm just gonna play moderator here, guys, in this little deal. Um, but Troy, I want to hear your side first. Like, where do you stand on this victimhood? Is victimhood even a thing? Is that real? Are people really out here looking for things to be victimized by? Is that a thing? Is that what's going on? Is that where you stand, or are you just kind of like, it's not a thing?
No, I definitely think it's a thing. I think people they stand on that. Well, they use it as a crutch. Like for example, in our community, we use slavery as a reason for this is why we haven't progressed in society. Now, some people would disagree with me, and they have every right to. But a lot of times, when something doesn't go our
Let me
way as
bite
a
my
culture,
cheese.
when something doesn't go our way as a culture, people say, "Oh, well, the reason we are like this is because X, Y, Z." And it's like, well, can you really say that when on this side over here we seem to be prospering? It's just this one particular thing that we're not good at, and you're gonna blame it on something that happened 400 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with you right there, Troy. I agree with you right there. But Jared, this is your argument to have. I'm his moderator, so don't let it go. Don't let any silent air happen. This is your argument.
Oh, no, your ass in it too, because you just sat over there with your duck ass talking about, I agree. I agree. Tell me what you agree with.
I do agree that a lot. I do agree in certain situations that people look for things to be a victim with. I do
I
agree
agree with
that
that part.
I do agree that in certain situations there are ways to get out of the situation, but instead people would rather be stuck in that situation because it's kind of like a crutch. They're using being a victim as a crutch. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I think that happens all the time.
But we're going to rewind back to that slavery part. Because what I feel like people fail to understand. Well, let me just say this: we can't use something that happened 400 years ago as slavery. But I feel like it definitely slowed down the progression of our community as a people, and
Okay,
we can't overlook that.
No,
yeah.
no,
There's
but
no
we
arguing
no
that. There's no arguing that. That's a fact.
like
it no it
because hold on, I let both of you speak. I ain't the one. Yeah, Urker. Y'all got a punk on the show. Hey, it's lit. Okay, now listen. So with shit like that going on, for instance, we tried to build a town. We had our own Wall Street. We had all of that shit. And when we did that, because it wasn't liked by our counterparts, or not our counterparts, by the opposite race. I don't know how to say it without coming off offensive. By the Caucasians. Okay, I'm African American. They Caucasians. Mexicans. I just want to be clear. I'm not being racist or nothing like that. Don't y'all come for me on Twitter. None of that. Okay, so we had all of that shit, and they didn't see fit for us to have all of that shit, so they burnt all of that shit down. Now, fast forward to 2021 with these new generation, with these new motherfuckers mad about, they ain't mad about no slavery. They ain't thinking about no slavery or none of that type of shit. People are just stuck and set in their ways. A lot of people, I've run across a lot of people in our community who have had not the best upbringing. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for them to let that type of shit go for some strange reason. I don't know why. I actually think that, you know what I'm saying, if I came from something like that, I would want to, you know what I'm saying, do better than what I come from. But some people are stuck in that mentality of they don't. So, I mean, I believe that people, especially this newer generation, they are definitely, some of them look for reasons to be victims. I will agree with that. Um, as far as the cancel culture goes, well, it just kind of depends on what the fuck you did to me to get you canceled. It just depends. Like all of these Karens out here calling wolf and shit, and they get canceled, and their jobs and shit get canceled. Bitch, dust. Let me interpret that for all the heterosexuals. When a bitch say bitch dust, that means pay that hoe dust. Okay, she ain't relevant. She ain't. Fuck her. Fuck her job. Fuck. Sorry to say this, but fuck your kids. All of
No,
that.
man, you can't say that. No,
This is
but
what I'm saying
no,
right here.
but
There's a difference, I think, between like a Karen and then like people that are getting canceled. Like a Karen can't be canceled. There's nothing to cancel. She's a normal, average house
Oh yes, you
mom or
can. No,
whatever.
what are you talking about? Have you
That's
seen
not.
all
I don't.
these? Have you seen these house mamas losing their jobs and all of that shit from the shit that they be doing that goes viral? No, they can get
Yeah, but
canceled.
I don't
They
think that's getting canceled because like she wasn't gonna go book a show next week. You know what I mean?
no,
Like she's not really getting canceled. She
but
just
she probably was making $100,000 a year that she just lost.
she lost her job. Okay, I think there's a difference here. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, definitely
I
different.
guess you don't.
Bro,
But maybe
bookings is a job. Getting bookings for doing music and shit, getting out here, putting yourself out
yeah,
here,
but
doing
like
all this.
right now,
That's
like
a
the
job.
RTL, like right now, the RTL can get canceled. Like literally, somebody can come in and Spotify can say no more. Apple Podcasts can say no more. Facebook can say no more. YouTube can say no more. We are canceled. You know what I mean? Like she can go get another job that doesn't care about what she said.
And we
That's
Right.
not. I don't think that's canceled. I
and y'all
think
can go get another podcast.
No, you can't
no. The
because we're
platforms are
blocked off the
canceling
platform.
us.
The
You
platform
see what I'm
cancel.
saying? Like if I have a
Uh-huh.
TV show and my TV show gets canceled, I think that's a
Yeah.
lot different than this lady calling the cops and falsely accusing someone of doing something and losing her job or saying something racist and losing her job. I think
I
that's a
mean,
little
but in
different.
her eyes, though, you have to look at it from coming from a Karen standpoint. She would probably hate to lose her job and behind something she probably didn't feel like was wrong. So to her, the bitch got canceled.
And I agree with you, but I just think for this argument, we have to split it up for the people, right? Like the people who
Who
which
are
if you want
slow.
to get on this and if you want to get on and say something, you can. But for the people who aren't going to get on and say something or whatever to figure it out, we got to
Right.
kind of split it up and like give them a guideline of where we're going here. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like bringing up the Karen talking about cancel culture might confuse some people. We don't want that.
If
But
y'all get confused by me saying cancel the Karen culture, your ass should have paid attention way back in grade school.
but
You slow.
the biggest cancel in your industry right now
Uh huh.
is the baby.
Yes.
We've all seen it. We've all seen week after week, day after day, not getting booked. Trey, I've already kind of heard a little bit from you on this, but go ahead and let the people know where you stand on the baby. Also, let them know what he said, how he said it. There's a lot of variables that go into these things that I think get overlooked. But go ahead.
Right. So, for those who don't know, so the baby's a rapper. He was at not Lollapalooza. He was at Rolling Loud, which is a music festival that they have every summer. Well, during his set, he said he had a rant where basically, during the concert when rappers
All
say
right.
like, hey, ladies, if you single tonight, throw your hands up. Yeah. Well, he went on a whole rant that a lot of people deemed homophobic, and just to kind of give you um a little, I'm not going to say word for word, but just kind of give you a like, I guess, a little breakdown of what he said. He said, if you didn't show up tonight with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexual transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lights up. And of course, people put their cell phone lights up. And then and then he
I'm
said,
sorry.
ladies, if some, in a kind of a derogatory term, put your lighters up. They put their lighters up. And then he said, fellas, if you ain't doing a derogatory act in the parking lot, then put your cell phone lighters up. And people put their cell phone lights up. Now, a lot of people deem that what he said was targeted at the um, the homosexual community. Now, in my eyes, I don't think he was targeting anybody. I think he was just because he didn't mention anybody. And to me, that's one of those things where I said victimhood. It's like what they say: a hit dog holler first. If I say something and I didn't direct it towards anybody, and you the first person that come and say, "Well, I don't do that," I didn't say nothing about you doing it. I just gave a blank. I gave a blanket statement, and a group of
You
people.
gave a backhanded statement is what you gave because whenever he grouped the whole, if you not a nigga sucking in the parking lot with, if you ain't nasty and got HIV and AIDS and ain't got that shit to make you die in 300 days, you to I'm sorry, but that kind of groups all of that ties that into being some gay shit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it
Like,
don't though. It don't
yeah,
though.
it
No,
do though.
no. I'm gonna tell you how he did because he said in
If you
other.
ain't another guy in the parking
That's no.
lot,
That's just one statement. That's just one statement.
it's just.
I think this is my
But
whole thing, and I've said
but
about the baby the whole time. Hold on, Jerry. Hold on, Jerry. This is my one thing that I've said about this whole the baby situation right here. His most wrong doing in this situation is leaving it up for everyone to decide who he was talking about. That's his
Exactly.
most wrongdoing in this situation. He's a rapper who we don't care what else he says. Period. If he says I'm gonna go outside and kill everybody on my street, we're gonna listen to it. If he goes outside and says I'm gonna have sex with every single woman in the world, we listen to it. Even if he was to go outside and say he was going to go do whatever in the parking lot, we are going to listen to it. So now that he's on stage at a concert and he says whatever he said, now we choose to say, oh, he can't say that.
no, he can't
That is
because
that is wrong. That's
well,
wrong.
I'm not gonna say that he can't say that, and I'm also not gonna even go as far as to say that he's homophobic or all of that other shit. I just think the whole thing was just ignorant because it was an ignorant statement to make as far as to say, oh, if you ain't got some shit that's gonna kill you in 2 or 3 weeks. Well, bro, science has come a long way, and HIV and AIDS has advanced in a long way, bro. People
It's
are
an
not out here.
ignorant statement to say you're going to have sex with your babysitter. We didn't say anything about that. That's an
Who
ignorant statement.
who said that?
The
He got a whole
baby.
song. He had the whole song about it.
The baby.
Again though, I don't really listen to him like that. I'm just all I can go off of is what I heard in that particular moment, and it was just some ignorant shit.
All right.
So
And
So
I
and
agree.
and
But what
and,
about
and
but
hold on,
how many times do rappers say ignorant shit and we let them say it? That's what I'm asking you.
rap is ignorant shit.
Okay, so now
exactly.
what's the difference?
But he wasn't rapping, y'all. He was going on a
No.
rant. He
He's
was
So he
speaking.
he's at
he
work, like you said.
He
He's
was
at work.
speaking.
He's a rapper. He can say
Okay.
pretty much whatever he wants to.
Okay. Okay. I'll give y'all that. I'll give y'all that. Take away all of that though. Take away all of that right there. And let's just say this. Motherfucker, you knew goddamn good and well when you got your black ass up on that stage and decided to speak them words in this day and age. You knew all that was gonna come with that. Now y'all tell me that man didn't know better than to get his duck ass up there and say that ignorant ass shit in this day and age. You know these people are super fucking sensitive nowadays. It's not the same. The shows, let me tell you something. Times are so different even for me now. Because growing up, I realized growing up, I was a hard ass little nigga. I had to be a hard ass little nigga because I used to watch shows like Moesha and shit, and that shit didn't bother me. Coming out the closet, being heavy set and shit now, being gay, being obese, watching them shows, now I'm like, damn, these bitches was rude as fuck. Like everything that they said, we've gotten soft somewhere, goddamn down the road. People have gotten fucking sensitive. It's basically what I'm trying to say. The shit that they used to could do nowadays, you have to just be more. You got to be careful. Even me, as a gay person, bro, in the gay community, I do not click well with other gay guys. I don't know the correct pronouns. I don't know. There's some shit about the gay avenues that I really don't motherfucking understand. You know what I'm saying? That we just don't mesh well. And I have to really watch what I say because they'll cancel my motherfucking ass before I even get started. And I want their support. I just don't know how to maneuver around them. So when it comes to like gay topics and stuff, I just say nothing. Cause I'm worse than a heterosexual. I've been said some off the wall shit, and they've been canceled my black ass before I even got out here.
But there's
But
some
you just
things you
have
said
to.
right there. There's some things you said right there, right? Like basically what you're saying, I think in your opening statement, like basically what you're saying is if you put a beat behind it, it's fine. But
It's
if he
fine.
gets out there and just starts talking, then he has to watch what he's saying.
He has
That's
to
the only
watch what
place
he's
where I'm
saying.
coming from.
That's
That
And
doesn't
backwards.
make
and
that doesn't
and
make any sense.
it doesn't make no sense, and it's just like a lot of shit don't. Just like motherfucking racism doesn't make no sense. There's some things we
No,
just not
no,
gonna be
actually,
understand.
no.
Racism makes
No,
perfect sense.
racism makes sense.
Oh, it makes
Racism makes sense,
well, it don't make sense to me.
and I'm gonna tell you how it makes sense because if you look at the animal world, I'm a big hunter. You don't see deer hanging with other animals. You know what I'm saying? Now you might sometimes no real talk.
When you say it,
But
like, yeah, really, really.
no, but sometimes you do. They're not gonna if a rat like on my game cameras. Sometimes you'll see a few raccoons and deer eating right there. They not gonna kick the raccoons off and say get gone. We hate you. They just I prefer to hang with my group. I'll hang with other groups, but I prefer to hang with my groups. That's really that's what racism is.
No,
You know
I
what I'm
mean I
saying?
disagree with you on that. I disagree with
How?
you on that for sure.
That's what a racist is. A racist is race first. I
Yeah,
It
but
choose my
is,
race first.
it's a
but
conscious decision. It's a conscious decision that you make to be
I
racist.
guess
Like,
it's
No,
how far
no,
you want to take your
you
racism. I
you
guess
you
there's
can
levels to the racism if you
yeah,
want to
it's
put it
level.
like
You
that.
can have hate in your racism, or you can just be like right now, if they said if somebody opened up a golf club, like a country club, and said, "I only want white men between the ages of 50 and 70 to golf here." That's just their rule. That's what they want. Now people can say, "Oh, that's hateful." They're not saying, "Oh, we don't like other groups. We just prefer this group here." It's racist, but they're not being hateful with it. Now, if they
yeah, I
said
mean, why? But why would they do that if they wasn't trying to be hateful? Like, it's kind of like,
You don't have.
the same way there's black only colleges, even though now
I was about to say what? Girl, I was like,
white people are allowed to go to them,
I was
but
about
they're
to say
predominantly
shit.
black. They used to be only black only. It just now
I,
you can't do that.
That's
I think we're
because, and
blurring
hold on,
lines. I think
hold
we're
on.
blurring lines with all these statements. I think those statements are all blurring lines. I think there's no. I don't think there's any correlation in racism or hateful racism in the golf club or whatever you just used, or and the black colleges definitely don't correlate to that.
No,
No,
no. Listen, no. Listen.
because
What I'm saying.
black colleges were created, black only schools were created because we couldn't go to the white schools.
Right, but what I'm saying is, but you can have a place where only whites, only blacks. You can't now, but saying if you did, they not doing it out of hate. Not all the time.
Okay, I see that, but that's what I'm saying. I think when we're saying like racist, like racism, when we're talking about racism, I think there is a level of hate to even make it a thing to talk about. If there's no hate involved, we're not talking about it. There's no such thing as racism without hate involved.
Not necessarily.
The reason why the reason
Mm,
like segregation and everything was hate based.
exactly.
No, that was hate based.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We may be blurring lines here because we
No, because
can't
if
say
you
like, oh,
racist,
there's like white only this and black only this,
but
but
well,
it's
hold
racist.
on,
But
Nick.
there's no hate. I
I
don't
have
think we
to,
can say that.
I have to go back and say I don't know about hate, because hate is a strong word. Um, a lot of times, what you run into with racism is the ignorance of not knowing. You know what I'm saying? And they grow up. It's a top thing. Like I have a patient that I used to work with or whatever, and he came in and I remember the very first time I met this guy. He just started talking about how he used to be racist. It was the weirdest shit ever. And y'all know how I am. My eyebrow immediately went the fuck up when he started, because he literally started the sentence off by, I used to be racist. Now this is me finna stick a needle in your arm, a black man, and this is what you want to tell me, is that you used to be racist. I don't know where the fuck made him do that, but yeah. So he went on to say that his wife got really sick and he had to end up putting his wife in this hospital. And all the nurses that were taking care of his wife were black. And he was saying that he had her at this real fancy hospital, paying all of this money, and they were mistreating his wife. And it was a bunch of his own people. He said he got her to this hospital, Kindred Hospital up here in Dallas. He said this group of black nurses literally nursed his wife from damn near dying to back to good health. And he was like, he's like, it just changed my whole, he's like, how attentive they were to me and how they took care of me and how they took care of my wife. He's like, I started going to their house for dinner, and he's like, I started, you know what I'm saying, going, just fixing things around the house for him, and just, he's like, really became family. He's like, and it made me think back to all the years that I had been, you know what I'm saying, brainwashed literally that black people were this and that. And he's like, it was just so, he's like, now every time, he's like, I know this feels weird, me sitting here telling you this. He's like, but I feel like I owe you that. Like, you know what I mean? And it was just kind of, it caught me off of guard because I'm like, well, you really don't owe me shit. First of all, motherfucker, you could have came here. I'm here to do a job. Literally got your blood and went on the fuck about my business. Anyway, but it was just, you know what I'm saying? Like, listening to him say that was like, damn. So a lot of times these people grow up in households where they're just been taught that. And it's a generational taught thing over the years. This white person taught this white person. And it ain't just white people, because, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Every race has races.
Oh yeah,
Right.
like for real, for real. It ain't just white people. I've been discriminated against more against Hispanics, if I'm being honest, than I have actually white people, which is so crazy to me. Because like,
You've been discriminated from your own more than you have from anybody, because that's who
Yup.
you've been around the most.
Woo,
And that's the thing that
Woo.
most people want to skip over and not say.
woo,
If
child.
anyone's
Yeah.
been discriminated by anyone more, you've been discriminated by your own more than you've been discriminated from any other race.
Yep. Most definitely.
Guaranteed.
Especially
Each
being
one of
black.
us right now, which we don't have to, can tell a story or a few stories of when
Mhm.
you were treated worse by your own kind than you have been by someone else.
It be
Because-
you.
Everyone has that, but that's who you spend your time around. That's who you grew up. You know what I mean? Like, that's how
Right.
it goes. You know what I mean?
Especially
So-
us, especially us coming from Pleasant Grove, because we hear a lot of, you sound white. Oh, you talk white. No, motherfucker, we talk like we got some motherfucking sense, like we educated. Well, at least y'all do. I still do too, but most times I'm cussing at motherfuckers because they always trying me. So you would think that I'm ignorant, but I actually do speak well. And we always, but I still get it from, you know what I'm saying, you white, or even if they see you drive a certain car, oh, you drive a white folks car. It's like, bro, it's a fucking Toyota. It's not a white folks car. Anybody can have a fucking car.
So,
It's
so
like,
what do
yeah.
you say? What do you say about someone who just they wasn't brought up around people of a different race? Because when I got to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, not the prep school in Rhode Island, when I got to the academy, my first roommate was a kid from like the back country of Pennsylvania, and he was homeschooled.
Mhm.
So he never, in his 18 years of life, never dealt face to face, dealt with a black person.
Wow.
All he saw was what was on TV.
Oh,
So when he comes to the roommate and he see me, he's like, oh, and we had our little interactions because he thought, well, you're like black people or gangsters. This is what I see on TV. This is the music I hear you guys make. This is how you are. And
Yeah.
then once he realized, oh, you're not like that, then we kind of had a whole little come to Jesus moment and became friends.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that he just like, oh, I don't like black people. He just, I've never been around him. I don't know what makes you tick. So what's up? So what do you say about people like that?
Coming to shit with your attitude and checking with the right thing on your mind because you don't know. And you should never walk into a situation assuming anything. I don't give a fuck what you've seen on TV, because the thing that you do know about life, if you lived a life of any sort, is that not one person is going to be the same. So you can't just go out here and base it off of what you've seen on TV in the real world, that, oh, every black person is fixing to be. That's again a conscious decision that your ignorant ass is making.
Not necessarily, because if he's like I said, if that's all this image you see,
No,
That's still ignorant, because you know that you still know. Even
You're
if all you
grown,
see is
bro.
what you see it on TV, exactly. By
You're
college,
grown.
you
Like,
know that. Yes, I've seen this on TV,
and that ain't
but
all you've seen on TV of black people either. At this
exactly.
day and
But
age. That ain't
even
all
if it
you've
is, though,
seen.
even if it is, that's just the channel you get.
So
Even
you
if
mean
that
to
is
tell
it,
me?
once it don't matter. That I was just saying, for argument's sake, even if that is all you see, once you know as an adult, as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old person in life, you know that what you saw in the movie, you're not gonna go out there and try to jump over a car or jump into a moving car or jump out of a moving car. You're not gonna do that. You see that on the movies all the time.
Thank you.
So you're not. So
And
why would you go out thinking that every black person was like you saw in the movies? You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
know that. So I see
And-
what you're saying, Jared.
and it's a fucking movie, guy. Like it's a fucking movie. These are actors in Hollywood that are rich as fuck playing a part. Fuck are you you gonna base your life on these motherfucking rich ass
Well,
actors?
I am saying this kid was brought up in like an Amish type of community, so he was, like I said, when I say very sheltered, very sheltered kid.
And that furthers my point. Your Amish ass parents sat up and let you watch hood movies all day.
No, but you see stuff in passing. I said he sat there and watched stuff.
I mean, what did he see in passing in a backwood town in Pennsylvania of black people that made him think?
Bro, I'm just giving you the story that he told me. Truth be told, it could be a BS story because he could be like, yeah, I'm just gonna say it because this dude is 225 pounds, he break my neck because he's probably $180 soaking wet.
Yeah,
but no matter what, I don't think. But that guy's not racist.
He was full of
regardless. That guy's not racist.
No, not at all.
Like, you know what
no,
I
I
mean?
ain't gonna say racist. I'm gonna say he's full of shit.
That guy's not racist. There's a big difference than like what you learn. You don't know about black people. You might be a little skeptical, but then you meet a black person and you're like, oh, okay, I see what's up. That's a little different. Like he's in Pennsylvania being taught like we don't associate with this group of people.
I'm skeptical.
We don't like this group of people. This group of people is such and such. This group of people is such and such. And then he comes to you with that, and like, well, you're his roommate, and y'all walk in or whatever. He's like, hey, stay on that side of the room, bro. You know, don't even cross this line. I don't mess with you. Now we have a racist on our hands. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even if it's taught and he knows no better, he's still being racist at that moment.
Right. Well, it's funny because I was actually the one that drew the line in the room, like, don't come on this side.
So you was being racist.
No. Hold on. Let me tell you the story. So our other roommate, Jackson, his girlfriend's mom sent him some cookies.
Don't put this
all right here. His girlfriend's mom sent him some cookies. So Jackson didn't like the guy's I'm just gonna say his last name, we call him Bartlett. Nope, didn't like him. So he was like, hey Reed, you want some cookies? I'm like, yeah, I'll take some cookies. So sitting there eating the cookies, but prior to eating the cookies, I had some peanuts. I was eating some peanuts. So I'm eating cookies. I'm just, oh man, these cookies good, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, I want a cookie. And he's like, no, you ain't getting no cookie. So I'm over here just, man, these cookies real good, bro.
Making it worse.
So he got a little short fuse. So he came over and knocked the peanuts off my desk. We in a military school. So if they come in your room for inspection anytime, you in trouble. So me, hey bro, you gonna sweep up all these peanuts off this floor before we get in trouble. He get the broom, the dustpan, he sweep up the peanuts along with a little bit of dust, and instead of dumping it in the trash can, he dump it on my desk. So I get up and we get to tussling, and he told me, I'm gonna get you in your sleep tonight. I said, all right, look here. You got these 5 towels right here. You cross these towels, I'm on you. If I wake up and you on this side, it's gonna be something. Well, our beds were up like loft beds above our desk. He on his phone at night with his girl. He's sleeping. He sleeping. He turned. His phone falls out of the bed and slides over them towels. Now it's on my side. So it's about 2:00 in the morning. I hear, Reed, can I get my phone? I say, hell no, you can't get your phone. Roll up and go to sleep. The next morning, I get up. I say, bro, you better not cross this side. I need my phone. I said, you better not cross this side. Let me tell y'all. So I went to class and came back. That phone was still on that side. So I was in that situation. I was the one that drew the line in the room. But after that, we made up and stuff, and he gave him his phone and stuff. But I'm not gonna say he was that type of guy to draw a line because I was that guy that drew the line in the room.
But you drew the line for safety reasons, not for racial reasons.
Oh,
No,
right.
it wasn't no safety reason. It wasn't no safety because in that moment he dumped the peanuts out of my desk. I would have knocked that motherfucking head off his motherfucking shoulders because bitch, you tried it, and I would have felt like you was trying me like it was slavery. I would have swore to God you was trying to enslave me.
Well, I got a little more self control. I wasn't gonna just hop on. You know what I'm saying?
I
The
don't.
towel is
That's
up.
why why I knew the
It's
military was
nostalgia
never
because
for
we
me.
took this train
Way
way,
left.
way off the track.
Sorry, my
A
bad.
little bit. But cancel culture in hip hop is this going to be a thing that's going to hinder hip hop going forward here? Because, like I said, rappers and hip hop artists, they say whatever they want in their songs. We
Well,
love this.
y'all tell
We
me
want
this. Why every time one of these little rappers get mad, why do they have to automatically come for Little Nas X? Why is he don't bother nobody. He ain't talking about nobody. He's literally doing his shit. And every time some weird shit happens, well, if y'all ain't got a problem with Little Nas X doing this, why is it a problem with this guy?
because
Like,
Lil Nas
what
X
the
no.
fuck?
because check this out right here. I'm gonna tell you why they keep saying that. Because Little Nas X has come out of the closet, it's like he has a bubble around him. He can do and say and act and put whatever in his videos and music, and nobody can do anything and touch him or say anything. But if I get out here and say this or do the same thing or do this in my video, now it's a problem because
That's
I'm
not
a
true.
heterosexual.
That's not true.
That is
That is
very true.
true.
That's
That's
not true.
true.
That's
Jared,
not true.
come on.
They
Heterosexuals literally do what they want to. Literally do what they
When
want
you
to.
can't,
They
When?
fucking
the
have
baby's
open
getting
discussions.
canceled right now
They
for
kiss
saying something he
girls. They
wanted
do
to.
all of that. They do everything that they want to do. But this man gets on here, kisses another guy, or dances on the devil in his video when all the time all people tell us is we going to hell. That's all he was doing, was literally portraying what people had told us all our life. People tell gay people that they going to hell, so he went to hell and danced on the devil. If you listen to his interviews, he literally will tell you the description of why that came about. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
No. Listen. This is what it is. So Lil Nas X had the video of him in the prison, right?
Yes.
Okay. The baby did the exact same. Matter of fact, it came out the same week, same video.
The video came out after
Yes,
his video came out
yes,
after.
it came after the same week. Same week. They demonized the baby's video, but they didn't demonize Lil Nas X video, and that's what they're saying. My video's the same thing. I'm just doing my thing in the prison. He's doing his thing in the prison. It's the same thing. So what's the difference? That's what they're saying.
I don't even know what I didn't again. I ain't watched the baby video.
So the baby's video is him in prison. He goes to jail,
Mm-hmm.
and he's messing around with the female guards. He's hustling in jail, working out, all that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Little Nas X video is him in jail dancing with other inmates. We all seen the video.
You
Naked,
ain't
yeah.
seen the video?
Yeah, I said we all seen the video. So he's saying, I had the same video. Y'all demonized me, but y'all didn't demonize Little Nas X. Why?
That's not the question I was talking about. I'm talking about like when Lil Boosie got on there and came for Lil Nas X. I'm talking about when T.I. came at it. Everybody who was defending the baby used Little Nas
That's
X.
what they're defending.
Yes,
Though.
that's what
I'm
they're
saying. That's
defending.
why Lil Nas X got brought up. They're not just bringing him up for no reason.
No, well,
He was brought up because they're videos.
but it's like at that point, y'all are singling out this young man as if that's his fault. It ain't his fault of who pick and chooses. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not specifically coming after Lil Nas X. They're using him as an example. They're asking the people who are doing the criticizing, wait a minute, you just praised this video, but you demonized mine. We have the same video.
And from what I've seen, Lil Nas X is not getting. He didn't exactly get praise.
He did get praised.
I mean, he got praise from some people, but he got a lot of slack from some people.
You're gonna get slack from both sides no matter what you do.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, but he got more praise for the video than he did slack.
But because the video was actually really, really legit creative.
It's not about it being creative. It's about
good shit.
You're saying that I shouldn't do this video,
right?
But his video is the same thing.
I wasn't talking about the video though from the jump because again I hadn't seen the baby's video. I didn't even know that's why everybody was coming for Lil Nas X. I didn't know
exactly, and I know you haven't seen the video. I'm just saying I'm just filling you in on why they're even bringing Lil Nas X up, and I'll go further in on that statement and to say they have to bring up a person for an example because to what I truly believe is like even with all cancel culture, whether it be black things getting canceled, whether it be white things getting canceled, whether it be homosexual things getting canceled or heterosexual things getting canceled. I don't believe it's the counter group that wants it canceled. I don't believe that it's like the direct counter group that's actually the ones making the fuss. Like when the baby said that, I don't believe that the LGBTQ community were the first ones that initially come out and say something. I
No,
believe a straight person said something first.
yeah,
Or,
probably a
or
straight person that was like, probably a straight person that.
okay, why does
But
why
that's
do
an
we have this
issue.
thing right now? Hold on, Trey. Why do we have this thing right now where everybody wants to be somebody else's big brother? Everybody else wants to step up and say, "Oh, you're offending that group. I'm gonna be the one to say something." And then sometimes the group that people say that they just latch onto it. Oh, this person's fighting for us, so I'm gonna jump on and hang on for dear life and ride it out and see what happens. That's what
Yeah,
happens a lot of the time, and I think that's this whole thing about cancel culture, and it gets these different groups going back and forth with each other. When initially you weren't even offended, the group wasn't even offended.
yeah,
Someone outside of your party told you to be offended, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal. And I think we're seeing that more right now than we're actually seeing like the other groups saying, I want this off the air, or I want this thing canceled, or they can't say that anymore. I think we're seeing that now more than anything.
And truth be told, that's like a backhand gesture because it's saying you're too dumb to realize what you don't like. Like
yeah.
like up here in South Dakota, I've had people approach me like, "Oh, you hear what Donald Trump said?" And I'm like, "What about it?" "Oh, he said this, this, and this. You should be upset." I don't care. You should, and then they try to force me to care and force me to see it the way that they see it. And it's like it doesn't mean that much to me. I don't care. And then they look
Exactly.
at me sideways like, well, I don't understand you. Well, I'm my own person. I
Right.
don't I don't
Exactly.
let people dictate how I feel.
And at this point,
Exactly.
selecting presidents is not about your motherfucking feelings. It's about business. It's
Yeah,
really a
facts.
business
It
transaction.
is exactly, and I think a lot of people do vote on feeling, and I think that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. You know what
Never
I'm saying?
again. Look, never again.
You don't vote on feeling. You know, that's just.
Never
I
again
mean,
will
come
I
on.
do that shit.
There's more
Okay. I
variables,
done
and that's
let
what I
two
was saying earlier.
motherfuckers bamboozle me into office and behind feelings and I'm gonna get this man. He's like, nah. Everything from now,
Exactly.
business. The more money, business.
But
Exactly, and
hey,
I think there's a
but
lot of variables that go into all these things that we're bringing up tonight. Not just the racism, not just the
Yeah,
cancel
Bert.
culture. You know, there's variables that go into all these things. And you just brought up, electing a president or electing an
Yeah.
official, whatever. There's variables that go into it that that don't allow you to run in there and vote off feeling.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I
I
mean?
think
There's
people vote for off of popularity for the most part nowadays. Anyway, it's like a trend. You know what I'm
I'll go.
saying?
I mean,
If everybody would have
people
been
vote.
trending, if everybody would have said vote for Trump, everybody would have went and voted for Trump. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think so. I don't think so.
I think
Yeah.
people vote. Jared has a point there because I do think that people vote who vote towards like who they've been told to vote towards.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I mean?
no,
Whether it be
that's
your
true.
entire life, your whole family's voted this way, so now you feel like obligated to vote this way, or someone you like, or someone you have built a new relationship with, or whatever it may be,
And that's
they're
very
voting this
true.
way, and
That's
so now
very
you're
true.
voting this way. I think more people vote on that
That's
than
very
actually
true.
have any type of knowledge about who
I
they're
have
actually voting for.
coworkers who got little kids that's already talking. You know what I'm saying? Who they like more. They're Republican. These little kids don't know nothing about no damn
Exactly.
politics. It's just
Nope.
something that they've already instilled in their head at a young. Oh, Biden's a pedophile. Like kids saying this shit. Like this is shit that you sitting around listening to your
Exactly.
parents.
You can go to a park right now and hear like Democratic and Republic talk at
Yeah,
a park.
Yep.
Right now, you can
The
go hear
kids.
that, and
yeah.
they have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like I think right now it may not have always been like this, so I don't want anybody to think that's what I think. I want everybody know
And
where I'm
ain't
coming
nobody
from.
did no research on shit either. That's another
Exactly. I
thing.
think right
They
now,
just sitting up listening to what they've been told on TV and they gossiping around amongst each other, and it's the truth. Biden kissed his granddaughter. He's a pedophile or some shit. Trump did some. He did. It's just a whole bunch of he did this. He did this.
exactly headlines swing the votes right
Every
now.
time, every single time.
And that's truly where we are as a people and as a country. Headlines swing the votes. Headlines swing everything. Headlines swing the way we think about people. Like right now, there are fans of the baby who are legitimate fans or were a few weeks ago They were legitimate fans, bought all his music, listened to all his music, and now that this is happening, they didn't leave when he beat up the guy that didn't pay him all his money for the concert. They didn't
Right.
leave when he was arrested for assaulting the guy. They didn't leave when he got in a fight in the mall in front of everybody and beat the dude up. They didn't leave then because they weren't told to leave. They weren't told to leave then. But he says this, and now they're told to leave him alone, and they're going to leave him alone. There are fans out there that will leave him alone over this, and it's
Well,
only because they were told to.
yeah, it's like I said before, it's herd mentality. You sit there and you might look at a situation and be like, it's not that bad. But then you have 5 or 6 people around you saying, oh, this is bad, this is bad. And they look at you and you like, yeah, this is bad, because you don't want to be that black sheep. You don't want to be standing out. And then also I think it's crazy because we're talking about the baby that all of these concerts are dropping them because they're saying, oh, we have to support humanity and we care about the safety and stuff for people, but 90% of the people you book, they rap about drugs and murder, and not used to, it was fake murders. They weren't really killing people. Now you got artists that's talking about killing people and they really kill people. They've really done it. There's a whole song that went viral that Who I Smoke, and those are real murders. You can look them up in Jacksonville, Florida. Those are real murders. And those guys are performing at these concerts. So you can't say, oh, well, what he said is bad and we're gonna cancel him, but you're gonna allow this other guy come out there and not only rap a song about people that murdered, but then the guy's family who was murdered has to see this guy on stage making millions of dollars rap about getting their kinfolk getting killed.
Exactly. And I don't. And that situation's a little different because those guys actually rapping aren't the guys who committed those murders. So that situation in down there in Jacksonville is just a little bit different on that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just putting out the facts out there so nobody can come back behind us and say whatever. But those murders those murders weren't committed by those guys rapping that song. But I do get what you're saying because that is happening now. Guys are actually rapping about what they did because now real street dudes are becoming rappers.
Yep.
It used to be, like you said, it used to be rappers acting like street dudes. Now real street dudes are becoming rappers. And these street dudes becoming rappers are, like you said, are up there singing about what they've done. And that is not demonized at all. They will get booked after booked after booked after booked. But oh Lord, don't make a comment that may or may not be for the LGBT community, or we're gonna come get you.
Exactly.
That's not fair. Jared, we have no sound from you right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but you have no sound.
Log out and come back in. Your volume went, your mic went out.
But while he gets that all figured out and everything like that, I want to ask you this right here, and it's kind of goes on to what we're talking about right now. How can a culture that's built on disrespect get in trouble for being disrespectful?
It's just the new age we living in. Like we build these guys up and we pay them for being outlandish and doing some of the wildest stuff possible. Like we build them up and we want to hear the next story. You know what I'm saying? I used to when King Von was putting out songs and he had Crazy Story 1 and 2, I was waiting to hear the next part, you know what I'm saying? And we build these guys up on it. And then once they do something that's just super wild, then people cancel them. It's like, well, why are you canceling them now when he's put out 5 albums and he's been saying the same thing? What made this one different? So I don't know why we expect a culture that's built on disrespect not to be disrespectful.
Yeah, this was true.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes,
yeah,
sir,
you good.
And so in that same instant, is the rap culture, are they asking for their own demise at this point? If this is how it's gonna be, go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead.
I think absolutely, because first of all, what I do not, and this must be like a young nigga, young generation thing. Why the fuck you gonna get on a song and literally tell everything that you just? When did that become hood nigga code? When did that become
no?
Gangsta code?
It's always like no one's ever who like the older rappers, we never knew if it was true or not because you just didn't know. You thought it was just a song.
Right.
Now these guys are famous for that, and then they becoming rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the past, it was I'm going. What Drake say? In the past, they used to reach for the weapon just to sell they rap. You know what I'm saying? They never did it. These guys never. The old guys never did it. These young
Yeah.
guys, they get famous, especially in Chicago. They're famous for being street cats and gang members, and then they just happen to transition into rap. They're not rappers who then turned into gangsters. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think there's also just like a difference in like Jerry said, when did that become code? When did it become a code to get on stage and say what you just did? I think that all came like with the hip hop, which hip hop right now is like I'm not gonna say it's hurting our community because I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, kids play GTA so they go out and kill people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not that type of guy. So I'm not gonna say they're hurting our community. But like right now, if any era of music was like influencing the younger generation, it's right now.
Yep.
That's no doubt. And
Sure, for sure.
these guys, when clout became a thing, when clout became like what everybody was chasing, I'm just chasing the clout. When that became a thing, I think that's when it became code to let everybody know what you're doing.
Yep.
And
You
they
know what I
got
mean?
these kids chasing after these. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Kids are chasing.
Balenciagas and
It's not even
everybody
that.
wanna be
It's
like,
not even that. You can get killed for less.
yeah.
You know,
It's street glory. It's street
exactly.
glory.
It's strictly off the bodies, like
Because
literally.
I watch kids that grow up in great households that literally the only explanation I can come up with this mindset that they be having is the music that they listen to, is the NBA. Because it's like, bro, where did you get this influence from? Like nothing around you is like gangster. Nothing around you is, and you finna go out here. I mean, I would say we all three right now we know a young man right now who is victim of this. Y'all, and I'm not gonna put his name out there, nothing like that. I would never do that to nobody, because that. But the three of us right now know somebody that's sitting in jail right now because, and we know they wasn't brought up like this. We know that you was brought up in a nice home. We know that your parents both have good jobs. We know that your folks grew up. You grew up in a nice house and fucking, you know what I'm saying, in a nice neighborhood and shit. And you're sitting in jail right now because y'all be listening to your peers and you be listening to this music and this shit that these little niggas be talking about that they doing on this music that they ain't even doing no more at this point. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
Listening to
know.
this. Well, some of them still stupid enough to be really doing it, but like NBA young boy ain't out here going door to door kicking in shit. He ain't out here, you know what I'm saying, really just living that life. This nigga eat good. Now he crazy. He gonna get into some shit, but he living good. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't
Exactly.
doing everything that he talking about. And even if he is, it ain't for y'all to adopt in y'all head and just let it be music. Just shit. For me, I listen to that shit. I listen to this rough music. I listen to that shit. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But it don't mean I'm gonna go out here and try to mimic it. And I've always listened to that type of shit. But it was never nothing. It didn't make me spark up and be like, damn, I'm gonna go out here and try to, you know what I'm saying, kick in a done. Now I will say it might have got me into some, you know what I'm saying, into some, a little pads or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Snoop might have had an effect on me or some shit, but like, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. I just feel like these kids get brainwashed by this music shit. They really. We know another young man who whole life Webby fucked up a whole era of kids. You know what
Well,
I'm
no,
saying?
it's glorified though, because think about it. Yeah, you might not come from that background, but when you're watching these videos, listen to this music, you see, oh man, he doing all this, and he got the nice car, he got the chains,
You
he got
think
the
that
nice
that's how
clothes,
you gonna get it?
and
I don't
well,
even
not
think
only
it's the
that,
cars. I don't even think
it's
it's the cars and the money.
it's the attention,
Exactly.
and that's why
Or
when they
knowing that people are scared of you. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly,
if you catch a body, let's just say you're somewhere where if you catch a body in Texarkana, you're getting caught. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that right
Yeah,
now. For
you
anybody
right.
listening to this podcast, you catch a body in Texarkana, most likely you're getting caught. You know what I'm saying? But if you are somewhere like Chicago, or where there's actually like a true inner city, or if you're in Chicago, I mean not Chicago, but Jacksonville, we know those two places right now are super, big gang related. There's places in these places where the police just aren't gonna respond to a call or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're there and you're in one of those type of places, I think these kids are literally killing just to be known.
Oh yeah.
just to be known as, either
How
don't
is
mess
this
with
man
me
free?
or I'll take it to wherever I need to take it to get whatever I need done. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't even think it's the money. I don't think it's the cars. I don't even think it's like that lifestyle. I think it's truly just the clout.
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
got
agree with that.
FBG Duck in Chicago, whose
Big clout.
nickname was Big Clout.
Big clout.
And people chase that. People chase the clout. That's all they're chasing. Just like, why do we love Instagram so much? Why do we love posting whatever we're doing on Facebook so much? Why do we love posting our pictures on Twitter or Snapchat or whatever? Well, you might see a person on never on Snapchat, never on anything. Let them go out of town.
Oh yeah,
Let them take a vacation.
yeah. All of a sudden, ooh, I'm in Atlanta.
Yep.
Ooh,
Exactly. It's strictly for the clout. That is doing you no justice. You hear all the excuses. Oh, I only post that when I'm out of town because I gotta save it. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
Right, you posted that because
You're
I'm
posting
telling
it for the clout. You want everybody to know you got the money because people think now. So somehow people accumulate like taking a trip to the beaches and having
boy, don't that up?
or
Oh, I'm
whatever.
catching flights. I'm catching. Boy, these here bitches.
Exactly.
It
You're
don't-
gonna
and-
post it
But here's
for
the
the
thing, though.
clout. You're only posting it for the clout.
The flights be spirit.
It don't matter what the flights are.
It
You
don't-
book
yeah.
it far enough in
But I'm
advance. It costs
saying
you
that,
$85. You
no,
know
but
what I'm
what
saying?
he's
Like,
saying is they be really on here style. Oh, I'm catching flights. Bitch, you pay $59 to be on that small ass plane that you gonna become a spirit on fucking around with.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even about what airline it is or whatever. They just want you to know that they're traveling. They want you to
Right.
know that they have it like that.
Yeah,
That's why it happens.
Attention is the new currency.
Yeah.
That's what it all boils down to.
It's just like when if we go out on an archery trip, we go out on a hunt. For the dreaded archer, we're going to make sure every single person knows that we're out here doing this. You know why? Because everybody else can't do it.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we were at
Yeah, 'cause I
when we were at the
showed
Total
you, when I
Archery
see y'all.
Challenge, it was sold out event. You couldn't get tickets. If you weren't online right when it happened, you had to get them. But the dreaded
went-
archer team was there. So guess what? The entire time we were there, every day you posted on Instagram, didn't you?
Exactly. Every day.
Every day I posted on Instagram. Every day I was on Snapchat. Every single day. Because we were gaining clout
Being part of an exclusive
for the
event.
dreaded archer, being on an exclusive event, and for the RTL. The
Yeah, I
entire
see
time we
y'all
were
out
there.
there playing motherfucking Green Arrow and shit. I said, look at Robin Hood and brother out here shooting up shit. I could never be out here in this wilderness. They going up mountains and I seen Nick with a bow and arrow. I'm like, oh fuck no, these niggas.
Hey, but hey, don't say you can't. 'Cause I promise you can.
Oh, I
Exactly.
would. It actually,
And but
it looks really fun. Actually, I was like, shit, I low key be out there acting. Y'all know how I used to be standing in the front yard playing Power Rangers and shit.
With that
that's my
stick
type
by the
of
road,
shit.
by the church.
Hell yeah, I would have been in the woods trying to turn flips and stuff, swearing I'm shooting some motherfucking body. Yeah,
exactly, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so like those things were posted strictly for clout. Like we were getting
right.
clout for a company, clout for business. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's the same thing in the street. They do what they do and they get on the track to put it out there real quick. Like whenever like the Chicago, if anyone knows like how the Chicago scene, like when the drill stuff first started, a lot of these guys are rappers and famous rappers. Like they're famous rappers now because they made a clout song. They
Yeah.
made a song just to say
Yeah.
just dissing the ops strictly for clout, and it
Damn, is
went
that what I gotta
crazy.
do? I need to diss the op.
No,
Oh,
but
my God.
but here's the crazy part. Even with them, like they know what come with that. They know that at the end of that road, it is death, and in the attention and the clout is worth that to them, and that's the stuff that these young kids are out here doing. That's what they want.
Like okay, especially with music. Like okay, for instance, clout. I could literally write a song about every dude that's been in my inbox in Texarkana from Texarkana. While Texarkana has to this day still been my lowest streaming city on all my songs. I could drop a song like that and everybody in that town is going to go listen to that shit just because they nosy as fuck and they want to know. And
Exactly.
for me to drop that kind of song would be a clout chasing move. That would be me chasing clout, literally, because it wouldn't be something I would normally do. But I could do that shit that everybody gonna go listen to that shit. And I know the string, it'll fuck around and go viral just because, you know what I'm saying, people are nosy.
Exactly.
And it would be very, but I'm not that. I thought about it. I really thought about it.
But see, here's the thing. Everybody's always trying to out clout the next person. So
right.
if someone does something, the next person know if I even want to get to that level, I gotta do something way crazy because everybody's already seen what the first person did.
Right.
And as long as our culture and we continue to keep trying to chase clout, it's not a pretty picture at the end because who knows what people will be doing. Like we're not saying the baby didn't have already have the clout, but maybe he was just trying to make a controversial situation to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Because
That,
he is on the record saying he believes he's uncancelable.
yeah. Well, I don't think that. I think that the baby is. I think that he's a huge talent, and if I'm being honest, I think that his fans out probably are gonna outweigh this whole cancel situation. I don't see the baby being canceled like that. I think that with time this will blow over. I think the way that he handled the situation after was horrible, and he should probably fire his publicist because they should have just told him to say nothing or or not to say what he said. Just like shut up, like let us handle this and just shut up, like. Because me as a gay person, I didn't really get offended by what he's saying, but I know other people who are in situations that have things going on that could be offended by what he said. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, it's just the ignorance thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Yeah,
ignorance, stuff like that.
but in rap, not only in rap, but anything that you do, you're going to offend
Somebody,
somebody.
yeah, this is
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
But
So
whenever you get up on stage in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people and choose those words to say, it feels like you're that you want to offend some people. Like that was your intentions was to offend
no,
some
but
people.
but think about it. His whole every song he has offends somebody, regardless of when he said it, where he said it. It offends somebody. So if you constantly live your life saying I can't say this because I'm gonna offend somebody, then nobody will talk at all. There'll be no one talking. Like
Right.
that.
Exactly.
That's what cancel culture is going to do. Is going to make it where no one can say anything about
Anything.
anything.
But
Yeah.
do y'all think cancel culture is here to stay? And we'll wrap it up with this right here. Do y'all think cancel culture is here to stay? And also, if it is here to stay, is hip hop dead?
No, I don't think it's here to stay because I think more people are. I guess they say waking up to it and not going to allow the media to tell them what they want. But it's going to be here for a while.
Well, they're just gonna have to cancel me because if I make it, I'm gonna say what the fuck I
No,
want to
you can't
say.
do that because you're demonizing the man for saying what he wanted to say.
Who? But
You
I would be smart enough to not say shit like that. I'm gonna say
no,
what I
it's
want to say.
nothing. No,
I'm gonna say
Jet,
what I want to say, Trey. But you have to have. I mean, when you in a certain light, you have to have boundaries of what you say.
no, you just said you're gonna say what you want to say.
Yeah, and
So
what I
okay, so you might say something even if you think, well, I don't think this is offensive. You might offend somebody that's got a big enough group behind
and
them.
and also, I'm not. Let me just say, I'm personally not demonizing what that man said. I'm just saying it was ignorant what he said, and if I'm being honest, in that kind, it would be different if it was like an interview or something. But at your show, like at your show, just do your show, shut the fuck up, get off the stage, and make your money. It's just like it just wasn't
Why?
no
Why are you putting stipulations on what I can do at my show?
like because it's just what's the I'm not putting
Everybody
stipulations
that
on.
was in that, everybody that was
I'm
in
not
that
putting
stadium,
I'm
everybody
not
that was,
putting stipulations on what you can do at your show
you just
because you
did.
can do what you can do what you want at your show, but just like we know where the world is, so it's just like why? It's not. I
No, but
mean,
that's you can't accept where the world is. You're not supposed to.
oh y'all, my phone got 4%. I'm sorry.
Now
I'm
you be
my
good,
chart.
but hey, but you can't accept where the world is because if there was people that just say, you know what, we're going to accept how the world is and this is how stuff is now, we wouldn't be in positions we're in right now.
Where you going?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't just say, well, we're going to accept how things are and that's how it is. It's not right. Just because that's something, just because that's something, or that's how things are going, don't make it right.
Right.
So, like I said, I think the cancel culture is going to do more damage than good. And a lot of times, if you continue to chase after these people and do these witch hunts and
Y'all hear
cancel
me?
people, yep, what happens when you're on the other end of being canceled?
Exactly. What happens whenever the tables are turned when you're on the canceled end instead of the canceling end. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much you can do once you've shot that shot.
Yep.
Okay.
But as always, folks, at this time in the show, we want to open up the floor for anybody who wants to come in. If they have any remarks you want to say about the pod, any further questions, anything to ask us, if you just want to hop in and say what's up, we're gonna open up the floor for you guys to go ahead and do that right now. But hey, one thing that we didn't get to talk about on this pod, which has totally nothing to do with any of the topics we had tonight, uh, deer season, man. We're close. It's August, man.
Oh man, I was out this weekend. It was the first weekend we're able to get out and actually put up tree stands on public land. So she went out and put up a put up a stand and didn't see any deer. Oh, saw one little doe and a small buck, but it's still early. It was about 11 o'clock. It was hot, so they were all bedded down and everything. But man, it's getting there. Like I said, the tags and came in. Whew, man, got some good game cam pictures, and it's on and popping.
It's on and popping, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. But hey, mental health checks, man. We're midweek Wednesday. I don't know why, but it feels like I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know,
Uh,
man.
so how you been, man? How you living, man? I need to know 1 through 10, mental health or your health on your physical, uh, business wise. Well, we'll do business last. Let's do your physical, personal life, and then let's go business wise after that.
All right, man. Personal wise, man, things are good. You know what I'm saying? So getting ready for deer season. Went out in the backyard today, shot a couple arrows. Just I was just getting geared up. You know how it is around this time of the year. You start getting that itch, man. Watching all those hunting shows and just I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anybody who's not a hunter, it's it's hard to explain that feeling you get right before the season starts. So personally, man, I'm sky high right now. I said we got 27 days left. No, 26 days until archery season starts. So I'm I'm ready to go. So I'm about sitting at about a 9 right now, personal wise. Physical wise, man, feeling pretty good. Still taking a break from the gym. Ain't been out there in probably about a month. So it's gonna start hitting that here pretty soon. And then business wise, I mean, stuff is good as far as for the dreaded archer. Now, as far as my job wise, it's kind of stressful right now. We got companies making some big changes that might affect a lot of people. So real stressed out, sitting talking to coworkers and stuff about what's gonna happen here the next couple of weeks. And actually started writing the business plan for the dreaded archery shop, and that might not be the name of it, but that's just the stand-in name
Yeah,
until then. So
facts.
the goal is 2 years. In 2 years, it might be small, but it'll be my shop.
Facts, man, facts, and that's what it's all about, bro.
Oh yeah.
Um, for myself, man, personally, bro, I'm probably at about 7 or 8. Everything's good, everything's riding smooth right now. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting. You know what I mean? Just grinding it out. So I give myself about a 7 or 8 right there. Uh, Physically, man, I've been giving myself around that 7 range. But this past weekend, I went and played a doubleheader baseball in Little Rock,
Ooh.
man, and by the end of it, yeah, I was tired, obviously, but it was like 102 degrees. But I played very well and played hard, pretty much the entire time. So I'm gonna have to bump that up to about a 9, man, on the physical scale, bro. I've been cutting myself a little short, but I definitely surprised myself. I didn't think I could go that long. Stole a bunch of bases, which is
Hey,
wild.
Hey man,
You know what I mean?
I saw that video. Man, remind me of when you hit that little triple during the state championship.
Yeah, man, it brought back a lot of feeling, a lot of old juices, which may have, contributed to how good I felt. You know what I'm saying? Just being back
Yeah.
out there again and everything like that. But it was a good time, man. I felt great. So I'm gonna bump myself up to about a 9 on a physical scale. And business wise, man, training is always going well. Uh, I just accepted a full time position at my other spot. Uh, so that's all good, man. So business wise, man, I had to give myself around an 8, with the green arrow going up. RTL's up and running. Episode 5, season 2, can't complain about that. We haven't gotten canceled yet. You know what I mean? So who knows after this episode? But we ain't got
Hey,
canceled
I
yet.
ain't gonna lie. I thought we got canceled last week.
Exactly. Be careful. We're new to this thing. Even though we're on season 2, we're still fairly new to this game, and we mentioned a few things last week that a couple of our platforms did not agree with, and it was some stuff. But we got, hey,
Y'all,
Facebook, chill out.
all they did was they gave us a little slap on the hand.
Yeah, just a little.
They know it's like, hey man, y'all need to chill out. That's all. They didn't give us
Yeah.
nothing big, nothing
Nothing
big.
crazy. Just a little slap on the wrist. But obviously, we're back tonight with a bunch of vulgar language. So obviously, hey, that slap wasn't hard enough. So we're still here though. We're not canceled, guys. So that's always a good thing. So business wise for me, man, like I said, 8 with the green arrow going up. But hey, before we get out of here, bro, any last words?
Shoot, no, man. Just like I say always, man. Be good people, man, and just remember the door swing both ways. So if you accept one thing, you gotta accept the other.
Hey, that's great right there, man. I think I'm gonna switch it up a little bit tonight from my closing statements, man. I'm gonna switch it up to think for yourself. Let's start doing that a little bit more. Here at the end of 2021 going into 2022, let's start thinking for ourselves. Let's get away from this herd mentality, because I think if we stay in this herd mentality, we're taking this place on a ride that none of us truly want to go, and we truly don't want to get to that destination that leads us to. So let's everybody think for ourselves, whether it be in the voting booth, whether it be life decisions. You know what I mean? Like, you can only get so much information from other people. Let's just have a little self thought and self talk as well. Talk to yourself. Let yourself know you're in control. You got the situation handled. And with that being said, hey guys, this is episode 5, season 2 of the Read, Talk, and Listen podcast, otherwise known as the RTL. I am your host, Nick Reed, along with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed, and we are out.
What? I mean, it's been turning up with her. The girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't go close to her. If you with your girl, let me hear you say, what?